here at Newburgh Arena in Canton, Maryland, the RCW show, interviewing Diaz. Who was some of your influences growing up?
When I started, I was a really big fan of Mick Foley, his reckless ways, the fact that he was not your typical wrestler. He didn't look like a wrestler, but the whippings that he would take, just the damage he would do. That something stuck with me when I first started. And actually now in hindsight, it seems a little bit reckless myself because I try to protect myself to extend my career as much as possible, which is completely the opposite of what Mick Foley used to do. So I could say definitely in a sense, he taught me how to do things and how not to do things.
What has been your toughest match so far?
No doubt, right here in the Newburgh Arena, it was myself, the Unholy Enigma Skull, Rich Swann, in a three-way ladder match for the RCW Cruiserweight Championship. That match, I took Swann out on a stretcher, and I climbed that ladder, knocked Skull over the face with my wet floor sign, and became the RCW Cruiserweight Champion for the first time. One of the toughest matches, one of my most proudest matches I've ever had in my career.
What age were you when you started wrestling?
It was such a long time ago. I was backyarding with all of my friends. That would have been, wow, when I was maybe 17, 18 years old. Here I am, almost 30 now. So I've been doing this for a really long time.
What federations do you wrestle in the past?
I first started out the Eastern Wrestling Alliance, the EWA. I went on to do MCW for a spell. After that, ACW, MWF, USW, UCW, all the way up in Uniontown, Pennsylvania. Fight in Pennsylvania. And now my home, RCW, I've been around.
What was your first title that you ever won in your career?
That goes back to the Eastern Wrestling Alliance again. When I was Cruiserweight Champion, I beat Dr. X for an incredible match. You can catch it on YouTube. One of my first titles, and surely not my last.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years, I don't see myself doing this forever. It takes a toll on your body. I can feel it right now as I'm sitting here talking to you. Eventually, I want to be sitting ringside. I want to be an announcer. I want to be a talent agent. I can see things in other talents that could really do this business good. Hopefully, I'll get that opportunity to do that.
In your opinion, who do you think is the better talent, WWE or TNA?
It's a tough call. WWE and TNA both have incredible athletes. The quality of matches, hit or miss, in both ends of the spectrum. WWE is very slow and plodding, but at the same time, everything that they do makes sense. TNA is kind of a shoot. Russian roulette, really. You got some incredible talent, Alex Shelley, Robert Roode, and then you got Ric Flair and Sting still kicking it around in there. I'm going to have to give it to the WWE. They're really pushing for a youth initiative, despite Kevin Nash and Triple H eating up all the airtime. Well, I'm going to have to give it to the WWE.
Who are some of your favorite pro wrestlers, past and present?
Mick Foley, obviously, he was one of the greatest influences I had when I first started. Then after a while, I started dabbing in the Lucha Libre type style, with Dragon Me, Rey Mysterio, Kidman, and the WCW Cruiserweight Series. I was really getting into that. Then I kind of saw how wrestlers took more reckless risks, and I kind of turned myself away from that. I started gravitating more towards a Chris Jericho or Randy Orton, people who know exactly what they're doing in that ring without having to resort to intentionally hurting themselves or other people.
Does your character in the ring relate to you outside of the ring?
Absolutely. They say that you never want to do something that you're not familiar with. They always say that your character should be whoever you really are, dialed up to 11. And in certain cases, that is the truth. When I go out there and I perform in front of these fans, I can't sit in the back and think of what I'm going to do. I have to react to what the fans are presenting to me. I have to react to what other wrestlers are doing. So, absolutely, if you want to say that whoever I am out there in the ring could be a dolled-up version of who I am talking to you. That would be a fair assumption.
What would be your dream match and dream opponent?
Obviously, it would have to be one of my trainers from back in the day. One of the former owners of RCW, the Bruce Lee Ooh-Wee Ruckus. I had a singles match with him before back in EWA. Didn't pan out the way that I liked it. I lost. I feel now that I have a little bit more experience under my belt, I could take him. And just seeing last night, him taking care of business out in the ring, getting pinned by this new guy coming in, I think I have a chance.
If they made a movie about you, who would play you and what would the title of the film be?
Who's really short out there in the business? Tom Hanks? Elijah Wood? See you in the eyes, maybe. Antonio Banderas. Yeah, Antonio Banderas in Desperado 3? 4? Desperado 4. Satan.
What do you like doing outside of the ring?
I do a lot of things. I work all the time for a big company. It starts with a C and ends with I'm gassed. Other than that, I like to play Dance Dance Revolution. Yeah, sorry ladies. I step on arrows to the beat of a cheesy J-pop song. Keeps my cardio up. Other than that, I like to draw, watch videos on the internet, and you know, drink a lot.
Who has been your favorite talent that you have worked with in the ring?
Derek Frazier, without question. Him and Jimmy Stars. Those two guys I trained with when I first started breaking into this business, and to this day, I have never had a better match than with those two gentlemen right there. Check it out on YouTube. Mini Boss versus Derek Frazier, Mini Boss versus Jimmy Stars. There's a big difference in those Jimmys right there.
Have you suffered any physical injuries during your wrestling career?
Thankfully, only one, and that was a terrible injury I suffered at the hands of Drew Gulak, ZZW. Guy threw a wicked clothesline at me. I wasn't in the correct position. Knocked me right in my head. I ended up getting a nasty welt over my forehead that ended up pulling into my eye, blackening my eye, giving me a nice concussion in the process. It was also on YouTube. Check it out.
If you had any advice for somebody doing a wrestling career, what would it be?
Be a professional. Don't be a dick. I had to learn that the hard way. I still have heat with a lot of people in this business. And I've been blacklisted from a couple places. But at the very end of the day, you have to be professional. Protect your opponent. Watch out for the other guy. Because you never know when they have an opportunity to present to you.
What kind of wrestler would you call yourself?
Obviously, due to the fact I like to jump off the top rope, get some lucha libre, get some cruiserweight type stuff, I would classify myself as a cruisador.
Once again, this is Jason Hevel. This is Steve Diaz. This video will be uploaded shortly. Thank you.